Okay, is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So in the yesterday class, we did with the staircase editing. We did the landing type edit and the support editings as well, the middle support and the side supports as well. And in that, we saw how we can add to two different profiles to the supports basically. Then we saw the carriage and the stringer options that are available in the supports here. I will continue with the same file, and today we're going to look into about railings, how we can apply railings to the staircase. Okay, so and see its basic parameters that have been given. So I'm going to pick the file that in which I've created all the staircase. Okay, now by default, you can you know whenever we create staircase, it automatically adds the railing. But for example, if you have deleted the railing, you can again add the railing back on the staircase or on the ramps actually. Okay, so if you wanted to create railings on your stairs or on the ramp or on the floor basically, then you can come into the architectural tab, and in the architectural tab you can come into circulation railing. And when you come into railing, you have two options basically. So the first option is about sketch path, and the other option is about placed on stairs and ramp. So we're going to take sketch path when we wanted to draw the railing line, especially when we are creating the parapet railing or the balcony railings basically there. Okay, so in that cases we're going to take sketch path basically. But if we have already created the stairs and ramps, basically, there is a second option, place on stairs and ramp, basically. So it will automatically place the railing on the stairs or on the ramps, basically. Okay, so we wanted to first right now create the railing for the stairs and the ramps, basically. So I'm going to pick this option which says place on stairs and ramp. Okay, and when I picked it, it gives me two positions of placement. One is the threads and the other is stringers. So where do you wish to place the railing? Do you wish to put directly on the threads, or do you wish to put it on the stringer basically? So if I select threads, it will apply and it will place the railing on the threads. But if I select stringers, it will place the railing on the stringer, means on the support. So we have these left and right support. If we have selected stringers, it will apply it on that stringers basically. So I'm going to pick right now as threads, and going to select the stair. And when I click it, you can see it automatically adds a railing on the threads of my stairs, and it automatically adds on the both sides actually. It adds on the left side as well as it also adds on the right hand side as well. So maybe if you don't want to add on the right side, you can select the right side railing and press delete, and it will remove off. Now we have railings only on the left hand side of the stairs. The right hand side of the stair won't have the railings basically. Once again, I can take the railing command and take place on stairs and ramp option. And this time I can take stringers. And if I click on the staircase once again, okay, so it's not adding it. You can see it's not allowing me to add railing basically, because we have already added a railing, and this railing is already added on the threads basically. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to remove both the railings, take the place on stairs and ramp, take stringers, and click it. Okay, now it gives me an error on one side that okay, the railing that you have placed, it will be placed on threads because there is no stringers. Okay, so if there is no stringers, it will automatically place the stairs, sorry, the railing on the threads basically, not on the stringers basically, because there is no stringer option only basically. Okay, so you can see now one is on the thread and one is on the stringers basically. Okay. Similarly, I can add railings on these other steps as well, like we have the spiral staircase. Okay, and we have stringers, but I'll add the railing directly on the threads. So when I come into the architectural tab, come into railings and take the option place stairs in ramp, select threads, and if I click on the stairs, it will add railings on the threads, okay, not on the stringers. Okay, and if you want to add it on the stringers, you can select the stringers options. It would have added that basically. Okay. Now when I select this railing, I get these options over here like edit path, pick new host, and reset railing. So if I click on pick new host and select this stringers, nothing happens. It doesn't move on the stringers. Okay. So you might have to delete it and again take the railing command basically. Edit path, if I click on edit path, it will switch it into a 2D line mode actually.
I'm joining by the phone.
So you can see it comes into 2D mode actually. And I can then select this 2D line actually. Just a minute. Um, is the screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
So see, I'll just go back. So when I select the railing, I get three options. One is like edit path, pick new host, and reset railing. Reset railing is
So
like
the
if you have edited.
so,
Sorry.
So your
so Revit.
Hello.
visible.
Revit screen is not visible. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when I select the railing, I get three options on the top. One is like edit path, pick new host, and reset railing. Okay. Now reset railing means like if you have edited the railing and you wanted to reset as default basically there. जैसे पहले था वैसे. Then you can click on reset railing. Then we have pick new host as an option. Now what is this like if I wanted to switch this railing from one step to the other one, so I can take pick new host and I can pick the other stair. So it will try to shift, but it doesn't do it because the shape of this railing, this step was not accurate basically. So again, if I take pick new host, pick this one, it doesn't move actually. That's the bug of this version actually. It's supposed to move from one step to the other. If I take pick new host once again, it will move from one element from one step to the other basically. Once again, if I try on straight staircase, let's see if it works. No, it doesn't work basically. Okay, so not possible. So this is a bug in this version. You can try in your version, whatever version you have it, maybe 2021. So what it will do, it will swap the railing from this stairs to the other stairs basically, like the L type stairs or the U type stairs basically. You can swap it basically, okay, by clicking on this option like pick new host basically. It tells us to specify the building element to be hosted the railing such as floor, ramps, or stairs. As an alternative, you can add railing free stand-in comfort and levels by clicking to the start of the drawing in the railing. So like it will move from one step to the other or from one element to the other. If I'm trying over here, it's not actually working. I don't know. This is a slightest bug in my PC or maybe in my version of Revit. Right. And the other option was edit path. So when I click on edit path, it will convert into 2D sketch mode. Then I can select this 2D sketch mode and edit its path directions and then click on the finish mode. So it will like not go all the way to the top, but it will like end up in the middle actually. So you can edit your railings, path directions and everything. You can then click on reset railing to reset its position, or the edits that whatever edits you have been made actually to the railings. Okay, so you can have three options, three tools that you get: edit path, pick new host, and reset railings basically. Okay, now when I'll be selecting this railings, I get this properties options over here. And in properties, we have three options like constraint, dimensions, identity data, and facings basically. So I'll one by one come and explain you all these parameters, what have been given in properties. So first is about constraint. Now, if you look into constraint, it says base level, which doesn't shows me anything over here because this railing is hosted on the stair. If this railing was been hosted on the level, it would have shown me the name of the level. Okay, so for example, if I create a railing by sketch command, okay, so I'm going to come into the level. Suppose if I come into level 1 and take the railing command and take sketch path, and I'll draw a railing path from here, this, that, couple of lines with that. I'm going to hit on the finish edit mode to complete the creation process. Now, if I come back in my 3D view, you'll see that railing has been created. I select this railing now, you can see it tells me base level and it says level 1 because this was been drawn on level. But if it's the railings have been drawn on staircase, it won't show me the base level information basically because it is hosted on an element basically. Okay. Then it is like base offset. Now again, I cannot provide any base offset because it is not on the level. It is on hosted element, so I cannot offset it basically. But if I would have created by sketch, you can see I have an option like base level and base offset as well. So if I give an offset like 20 mm, it will raise 20 mm from that level basically, which means like if I come into the elevation view, that's the railing. You can see it's like slightly offset from the level line. This is my level line, and वो level line से 20 mm ऊपर offset हुआ है basically. If I give 100 mm, click on apply, it will like move 100 mm from that level basically. And if I give like 0, it will put it on the level line basically. Okay, so that's base level and base offset. Now these two options only works when you take the sketch path of railing command basically. It won't work with staircase or the ramps basically because you cannot offset a railing on the steps basically there or on the ramps basically. You cannot put it on in the air positions basically. Okay. Then it's giving me offset from path. Now this can be applied on your staircase as well. So like if I come over here, look into it, it's like very much towards the end of this steps basically. So it's like 25.4 mm. So if I give 0, it's gonna put it right in the middle actually. So you can offset it maybe if I give 50 mm, it's gonna offset 50 mm more inside, right? So you can like swap the direction towards coming more in inner direction or outer direction. So how you want to offset your railings, you can offset it maybe 150 mm. How much offset you want to leave from the sides actually. You can see like even this railings as well. This is negative 25, you can get like 50 mm offset. It's going to stick inside and then it's going to apply on the threads thing. If I get negative, it's going to apply on the stringers. And if I give like negative 50 out actually, or like negative 100, it's going to go out totally. Doesn't look right because it's like sticking out completely. So negative 25 was correct. Let's put it back. And this can be like 25. Right? So that's 25 mm is from this end to the center of the railing actually. Okay. So that's offset from the path direction. Then in the dimension, it tells me the length of the railing, and the current length of this railing is according to the length of your run of your staircase, which is 7,109.9 mm, which we cannot edit. We can view it. We can just see the railing length actually. We cannot edit the railing length unless until if I click on edit path. And when I click on edit part, it takes it into 2D mode. So you can see a magenta line, which you can select this, and I can edit its length actually. Okay, so which is right now 5750. Okay, in straight direction wise. If I click 5000 and then click on finish mode, you can see like it just creates that much portion of the railing. The rest has not been created. Okay, so you can edit the railings, sketch mode or anything like that. Even if you want to continue this railing on like the other side of direction, you can click on edit path and you can draw a line, and I can draw a line from its endpoint. Like that. On finish mode to continue my railing. Again, you can select this railing and you can click on edit path, take a line command, and you can create it on the other side of direction. Maybe I could go a little bit crossing direction as well and click on finish mode. So you can continue your railings of your stairs on the slab above, basically. Then. Okay, that's why the edit path command has been given to you. What else you get it in the properties? We get the identity data where we can add the image of the railing. So if you have some reference image or the site image of the railing, you can add that. You can add the comments. You can even add the type mark of the railings. Then we have phasing information. Now in phasing, we'll keep it all as new constructions only. We'll not change anything in phasing right now because whatever we are building it over here is all newly constructed. Okay. So we cannot change anything in this. Okay, so leave phasing as it is. Okay, so these are the properties options that you get: constraint options, dimension options, identity data, and phasing options is in the railing. Now there are various type of railing that is also available for you. So if you select the railing, so currently this railing is 1100 mm railing, a default railing actually. Now if I go into type list, I have like 900 mm railing. I have a 900 mm pipe shape railing, 1100 mm railing, and I have a glass panel bottom fill railing as well. So we have four different type of railing available. So if I select 900 mm railing, this is a 900 mm railing. Only thing is the difference is only the height actually. So the earlier one was 1100 in height, and this one is like 900 in height. Then we have the other 900 mm, but this is in some pipe shape. So if I select this one, right, this comes in a little bit pipe shapes railing, okay, circular ones, and that two horizontal circles. Pipe shapes are there. Plus there is some verticals also, but some limited. And there is a little bit problem like it is sticking out a little bit from the threads, so it doesn't look right to me. We can still edit this railing by clicking onto this, coming into edit type and edit its type of the railing. We can also apply the glass panel bottom fill railing. So if I select this, it will apply the glass panel railing. Okay, so we have these glass railings if you wanted to apply glass rail instead of normal railings. So only these types of railings are available, which you can come and edit them as well. So let's start editing one by one and see what parameters we can edit it off. Okay, so first thing first, let me select this railing. This is the 900 mm railing, and I'm going to come into the edit type. So when I come into edit type, this dialog box appears, the type property dialog box appears. And obviously, I'm going to duplicate this type so that whatever changes I do make, it doesn't affect the 900 mm railing style, but a new style would be created, a new type would be created. So duplicating it, I'm going to call this as 900 mm dash custom rail or railings, whatever you want to call. Now in this, we have a lot of type parameters. We have construction type parameters, top rail, handrails, handrail 2, and identity data. These are the parameters that are available basically. So construction is there, top rail option is there, handrails is there, handrail 2 is there, and identity data is there. So I'll first start with the top rail, okay, and then I'll go with the handrails options is basically the now this top rail. So this is our top rail on which we lay the hand and on which we take the support to climb it basically, or to hold the hand and climb it basically. So that's the top rail. So if you wanted to, edit the top rail, we'll come into top rail options, and it tells me that okay, do you want to use the top rail? If I don't, I'll uncheck it, and what will happen is that the top rail will be deleted. So if the top rail goes, even my balusters goes away. So be very careful while editing the top rail actually. I'll put it back. And what shall be your height of your railings? You can select that as well. So maybe if you want the height of the railing as 1 meter, so we can give 1 meter of railing height. We got 1 meter of railing height, and the type of the railing, it is right now 40 by 30 elliptical top rail. So the shape of this railing is an elliptical profile shape. So if you wanted to change the top rail profile, we can come into this options, and we can change its top rail profile basically completely. So when I come into this, I get more parameters basically. I again get construction parameter. I again get like material and finishes. I get about extensions at the beginning, extension at the end, terminations, and identity data basically. Okay, so I want to create a very unique top rail style basically. Okay, we can select some profile shapes. Okay, so you can see a very unique top rail. There are many of it actually. So it's very slow actually. So these are the different shapes of top rails. So we can create our own profile. So to create our own profile of the top rail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave it as okay right now. And I'm going to click on apply and click on okay. Come into the file menu, click new command. And from here, I'm going to take the English folder and going to search for metric profile actually. So this is for metric profile, and I'll take profile dash rails because in this the settings, the template settings for the railing would be automatically given to me. So pick that metric profile dash rails, click on open, and just imagine this is your of the rail line. Okay, and I need to create this profile shape, or any of one of these profile shapes. Okay, you can even create these kind of shapes as well, round one, heritage one, or portal ones, basically, or even you create these type of uh, profile. So I'm gonna be very uh, you know rough to create it, like not going to give dimension. If you want to give it dimensionally, you can create it dimensionally as well. I'm gonna just leave the data. Hello.
Yes, I audible.
So gonna take the create tool, and from the create tool, I'm gonna take the line tool and gonna draw that shape. It's gonna be the arc. Straight line actually. Right, just assuming the dimension right. I'm just gonna create the shape. I'm gonna mirror this shape on the other end as well. So that's the profile that we wanted to create. It's a closed loop profile. So this is the top rail profile, and I'm gonna save this top rail profile. Save it on the desktop. I'm gonna call this as custom top rail profile. Right? And you can click on load into project and close. Now it's been loaded into our project. You can now select the railing, come into edit type, and you can come into the option of top rails. Already type is been duplicated, so no need to duplicate it again. And over here, the type is given. The type right now it's been applied. It is an elliptical profile that is 40 by 30 mm. So we're going to click onto that option. So we get another type property dialog box, and I'm going to duplicate this type. I'm going to call this as top rail custom, and I'm going to change the profile. So the profile is right now elliptical profile. We already have some profile already. You can choose that as well. So you have a circular profile of 30 mm, 40 mm. Rectangular handle profile is also available. Square handle is also available. I'll select the mine. So custom top rail profile. This is the profile that we wanted. Then I'm going to click on OK, apply, and once again I'll click on OK. So you see that shape, that whatever shape that I've created is being visible. We can see that applied it. Once again we can select this railing, come into the edit type, come into top rails, edit it off. We have other parameters also, means like the hand clearance is there. We have about the material informations, the transition options, uh, the default joining options. Like it is currently melter joints, like the corners would be having sharp ends basically. You can see the image also. So wherever the railing bends basically there. So the bend of the railing would be having sharp ends basically there. So if you wanted to smooth the bends basically, change the default joints from melter to fillet. And once you set fillet, you can give the fillet radius also. What radius of fillet you wanted to apply. So supposingly, if I give like 50 mm of fillet, then click on apply, it tells me that fillet cannot be created because it is smaller. So the radius amount is too small to fillet. So I'm going to cancel this and going to give a little large amount of fillet over here, 100 mm. I'm going to apply. It does take 100 mm, so that's fine. And if I click on OK, apply and OK, so now you see wherever that railing was been bending off basically. Now over here the joints is not being properly connected, so we need to fix that issue of joints. The joint condition is not matching. Come back over here, and translation is very simple basically, which you can change into cosmics to make it curve bends actually. So now you can see it's like bends and we get the fillet as well. So like it smoothly turns the railings on the top rails. Okay. Come back in the edit type, top rails. Okay. And you can use, instead of fillet, you can use melter joints. If you use melter joints, you'll see that the top is like sharp turns basically. That it's not having curves or fillets actually. That's up to you whether you want to have curves in the or radiuses of fillet in the top rails, or you just want it straight cuts basically. Okay, so you can choose the joints and the transitions. Okay, you can also apply material to the top rails. So if you want to assign material to your top rails, we can come into the material options and can create our own material. Apply materials. Dash. This is the wood material that we want to apply. The type category as wood. We can provide all this information, product information, description information. All you need to give it up. Okay, don't leave it empty. Come into graphics. Use render appearances. Then in surface patterns, we can like pick it up. Some finishing materials, cut patterns. We can take like bit of like that curves. Okay, you can fill up all the hatch patterns, whatever patterns you want to apply. And you can also apply the materials of the wood or any other material, maybe steel or paint or materials, whatever material you want to apply it. I'm just picking a very random material from here. Click on apply, okay, apply, okay. Now to see switch this to mode to realistic. So you'll see top rail has material. Which looks quite fine. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So see the top rail has the material. Come back into the edit type. Come into top rail types edit. Now the next options that is appearing is about the extensions. Now you have two type of extensions over here. One is the extension beginning slash bottom, and the other one is like extension end and top basically. So I'll start first with the beginning one, and the extension style it says none. So this top rail is not extending. So when I come into the style of extension, we have three style of extension. One is the wall extension, floor extension, and post extension. You can see we have three options of extension of the top rails. We have wall extension, floor extensions, and post extensions. So let me explain you. So if I take wall extension and I can now provide the length of the extension. So supposingly if I give an extension of 500 mm, so this beginning of the top rail would be slightly, extended, right, like that, straighter to till the wall actually. So if you have a wall, it will like get connected to that rail basically. So if you want to extend it more, you can come into the edit type and the length you can give more length value. So if I get 1500, it will like extend it more. Okay, so your top rail like extends till the wall, right? If I take it to the floor and then click on apply, it will like bend till the floor actually. Okay. And then I can reduce this length actually. So if I get like another 200 mm of length, so like it goes like that, turns and hits to the flooring basically. And if I take the third option, if I take post, it will like go and return it back to the post actually. So it will like go and bend and give me a turn actually, return to the post actually. Okay, so you can select what type of extensions you need. You want the wall extension, so like it will extend it straightly. If you wanted floor extensions, you can take it up to the floor extension, and you wish to do the post extension, you can do the post extensions. Now, if you wanted to, fillet these ends, so you can use the default joints as fillets. Give the radius, apply it, and it will like bend into like curve actually. Okay, and if you don't use fillet, if you use melters, it will like be melter joints basically. Okay, so that's about the extensions at the beginnings basically. So it only applies on the beginning of the railing. It will not be applied to the end of your rails. This is my end of the rail, which is right at the end over here. Okay, I can click on the edit path. I'll just remove this cross line. Once again, we can select, come into the edit type, change for the type properties. You can come into extension at the end and the top. Again, it says the style is none. Okay, so we can select the styles. There are 3 styles of extensions. You have the first extension is walls, the second is to the floor, and the third one is up to the post basically. So once again, if I come over here, you want to extend to the walls, how much extensions you want to take it, you can type the extension amount. Select extends. So I want to extend it a little bit more. You can start giving values of extension at the ends. So to like keep on going extending. If you want to extend it to the floor, you can take it extension to the floor. And if you want to take it up to the post, you can take it up to the post as well. So to like return in that positioning. You can adjust the extension values. So how much extension values you wanted to apply it basically. So just like in the beginning, you can apply to the end as well. It says plus thread depth. So if you want to adjust your thread depths as well, you can adjust the thread depths as well. Okay. So that would be at the beginning actually. Then we have termination. So like termination is like supposedly if I'm using this extension to the floor actually, not on the post. So the termination at the beginning it says none. So if I apply a termination rectangular wood, it will apply. I'll show you what will happen. It will apply a support actually, but right, it's not in the center actually. That's because of the clearance, the hand clearance we are given like -61. If I give this 0, it will try to doesn't works basically. So the profile is not being correctly placed in the center. So we need to create this profile that comes in the center actually, termination profiles. So create that later on. We can now remove this terminations. This is for the support that will be bolted on the floor actually, okay, like a plate actually. So you can remove this terminations at the beginning and at the ends. Okay, so that will be to the floor actually. And once again, if I come into the edit type, top rails, we have about the identity data where you can provide the manufacturer name, the cost, the type mark, the description of the top rail and everything. Once your top rail has been completely edited, then we have the options for handrails. So we have 2 handrails over here, handrail 1 and handrail 2. And currently I cannot edit anything because I have not added any handrails in the railings basically there. So I can select the type of the handrail and I can select the handrail positionings basically then. I can come over here in handrail type and select a type of handrail that I want to apply it. Okay, so I'm going to apply a circular handrail. If I click OK, okay, and now I can select the position of the handrail. So which side you want to provide the handrail? You want to provide on the left side of the railing. So if I now come click on OK and see, so the railing would be having handrails as well. Isolate this element. Okay, and if you wanted to change this positioning, you can take the handle on the right, so you can put it on the outer side. And if you want it on the both the sides, you can say left and right both. It will apply on the both sides. Just want it on the left side, we can take the left side of it. Now we have handrail 2 also. In this also we can select the type of the railing and the positioning of it. So it will apply on the other side. So maybe on one side you want the other shape of the type. Maybe we wanted not a pipe shape, but we wanted some different shape, maybe square shape. We can take it square shape. Okay. But if I'm changing for the one, the other one is also changing because I did not duplicate it. If I duplicate it and then if I change for the other one, now if I take a circular one, You see one side is having circular profile, the other one is having a square profile. So if you want two handrails, two different handrails, you can use two different handrails. And if you just want no handrails, you can say none. And there will be no handrail on the other side. So you can choose the positioning of the handrails, and you can choose the type of the handrail also. In handrail also you have the same thing, just like we have at the top rails, like you have the joint conditions, which you can take fillets. You can give the value of fillet as well. You can provide the height of your handrail. You can select the profiles of your handrails, transition types. You can also apply the material to your handrails. You can also give extensions to your handrails. Maybe I can take this extension up to the walls actually, and give like little extension of 100 extensions. That so like go and meet in the walls actually. It's like this. Hitting the top rail, so I'll just reduce it back to 100 only. Perfect. Okay, you can adjust the threads to it, so it's perfectly goes and matched to it. You can extend it on the top as well, maybe till the flooring actually. Extending another 100 on the top. You can add terminations to these as well. These railings has the top rails and the handrails as well on the inner side, and they are curved as well, so like because we have applied filleted to it and give the radius as 100 of curves. You can totally customize the railing that you want to apply. Maybe we don't want this top rail, we just need the handrails basically. That we can select the railing, we can come into the type, and we can tell that okay, we don't want to use the top rails applied. It will delete that, and it would only leave with the handrails. But all I see is these balusters that are left off basically there. So if you want to remove these balusters as well, we can come into this option like baluster placements, and make this family. Or you can off this use baluster for threads off. Okay, and then click apply. Okay, should go away. Doesn't go. So we can tell him that we don't want any balusters on the stairs. The off it, so just say none balusters. Don't apply any balusters. Balusters to be applied. No balusters to be applied. None of the balusters needs to be applied. And now it goes away. It just leaves the plain handrails onto it. So it will just have stairs with just a handrail. Now if I would have created a wall just next to it, so it would like look up something like that. Handrail that you can hold it, come on top, and the other side you have the railing parameters basically. Right, so it looks better. So you have the options of customizing your railings actually. Okay, you can totally edit the basic parameters also, and create your own rail types basically. Okay, so first Once again, it is like this. Come to the edit type. Same on the handrail too, means on the other side of the railings, if you want to add another handrails, you can add another handrail also. I've left it as none because I just want it only on one side. Okay, so you have top rails, handrails, options is okay, top profiles that you can change it. Okay. Now there are many more edits as well. So we have just edit the top rails and the handrails yet. There is about these as well. So these are the posts of the railing. So these are called post. You have start post, you have end post. Okay, so this is the start post, this is the end post. Okay, these are your balusters actually. Okay, so these are balusters, they're all called balusters. And these are your bottom rails. These are all your bottom rails. So you have post, so you have start post, you have end post, you have balusters. We just completed with the top rails only. Okay, so there is more editing of railings are there. So we can edit the post of the railing, we can edit the bottom rails of the railings, we can edit the balusters of the railing, we can edit the top rail of the railings. All these parameters you can edit it and you can create your own form of railing styles basically. Okay, so what I want you to do is to try on these parameters first, understand these parameters, it's really important. And then in the next class, that's on Monday, we're going to do about bottom rails and creating our own baluster styles, because Revit has only given two baluster style, like square baluster and glass panel. And if you look into the glass panel baluster also, it's not that detailed actually. See, like it doesn't have the clips of connections and anything like that. So it's very simple glass baluster that they have created over here, or the glass panel that they have created for the railing. If you wanted to create something railing like this, glass rails, which is having the D clips to hold the baluster or something like that, the clips, the spider clips to hold the balusters, okay, something like that. We need to create a family of the baluster. So family might look something like this. So we need to create a very detailed baluster family. Just show you how the family looks when you create the balusters. Because you can create a classic shape baluster as well, something like this. So this is a form of baluster that you can create and apply it to your staircase. And if you want to create your glass balusters, yes. Now you create the baluster families in details, so that once you apply to your railings, it applies very correctly. Okay, so we'll do this on the next class, how we can create our own balusters and apply and see how does it will affect the railing basically if we create. Okay, so try these options as first: the top rails, the handrails, and the parameters of top rails and the handrails basically. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So see you guys on Monday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Most welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you.